Welcome to our few minutes together on the Parsha. This Shabbos we have the privilege of reading Parshas Pinchas, so named because of Pinchas ben Elazar ben Aaron HaKohen, Pinchas the son of Elazar the son of Aaron the Kohen, about whom it says at the very beginning, Heishiv es chamasi me al bnei Yisrael. Heishiv means he returned or reversed es chamasi, my anger from on the Jewish people, says God, when he was zealous on my behalf, and he demonstrated that immorality does not have a place amongst the Jewish people. What Pinchas did was considered an act which reversed God's anger. And because he reversed God's anger, the plague that came upon the Jewish people because of the immorality that had pervaded the Jewish people, and 24,000 Jews had died in the plague, from that, Pinchas gets the credit for Heishiv es chamasi, for reversing my anger. Chamasi, from the word cham, hot or heat, anger. Chamasi, my anger. The Vilna Gaon quotes a pasuk in Tehillim Kuf Vav, in which it says, Vayamod Pinchas vayefalel, and Pinchas stood up and he acted wondrously. And the pasuk continues and it says, Vatei otzar hamagefa, and the plague stopped. Vatei choshev lo tzedakah, and it was considered to him litzdaka, as an act of charity. So the Vilna Gaon asks, Pinchas, by killing the two immoral people, this was considered an act of tzedakah because it stopped the plague. Why, says the Vilna Gaon, is this called an act of tzedakah? Why is it called an act of charity? So he says, if you'll take a look at the first mention of the charity in the Torah, of course, it's the pasuk in Kisisa, which talks about the machzis hashekel. Mem ches tzadik yud taf. Machzis hashekel, the half shekel. And the half shekel has a middle letter. And the middle letter of the word machzis, of course, is a tzadik. And tzadik stands for tzedakah. So when you give tzedakah, what you do is you have the word machzis. Now the word machzis is an interesting word. The first letter of the word is a mem. The last letter of the word is a taf. That spells mace. The two middle letters are ches and yud. So the tzaddik has next to it the ches and the yud. When one gives tzedakah, they bring chai, because as Shlomo HaMelech said, "Utzdaka tatzel min mimaves." The tzedakah saves one from death, while the last two letters on the outside are mace, and so the tzaddik has chai next to it. Tzedakah has chai, and it takes away mace. Utzdaka tatzel mimaves. My Rebbe used to say when I was in yeshiva, he used to tell us, give tzedakah, boys, because tzedakah tatzel mi movies, because he didn't want us to go to the movies. So he used to say, tzedakah tatzel mi movies, and that's what he pronounced it. But what it means is in the pasuk, it says, tzedakah tatzel mi moves. Tzedakah saves from death. So tzedakah has chai next to it and mace far away. But if you take a look at the word chamasi, when God got angry, so chamasi has a ches at the beginning and a yud at the end, and chai is far away, and mace is right next to each other. When Hashem got angry at the Jewish people for being immoral, chamasi brought about that the mace was together and the chai was far away. So when Pinchas stopped the plague through his act of courage, that made it that now the mace was far away and the chai was close together, and so it says, Vatei choshev lo litzdaka. It was considered for Pinchas an act of charity, a tzedakah, because what he did is he brought the mace far away and brought the chai close together. Isn't it interesting that at this time of the year, when we talk about the 3 weeks and the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash, and we think of the fact that we'd love to bring about that chai be close together and mace be far apart. And the thing that does it, even though I'm sure Shmiras Shabbos is very important, And even though davening with a minyan is important, and even though keeping kosher is important, and even though all the laws bein Adam laMakom are important, it's the bein Adam laChaveiro mitzvah of tzedakah that brings Chai together and Mace far apart. Pinchas ben Elazar ben Aaron HaKohen Heishiv es Chamasi. He reversed my anger, because instead of Chamasi with the mace together and the Chai far apart, he did an act of tzedakah which put the Chai close together and the mace far apart. We're going to be benching Rosh Chodesh Menachem Av. What a wonderful time to consider our Bein Adam Lachaveiro relationships. What a wonderful time to think of the charitable acts that we could do that will bring the Chai close together, and the mace should remain far apart. We want the Chai close together. And that's why it says about Pinchas, Vatechoshev lo litzdaka. Acts Bein Adam Lachaveiro can bring life to Klal Yisrael. Have a wonderful Shabbos.